shit is squeamish. Friday nights be gleaming. We stay hype with guys like no matter what, cause we queenin'. Hey, we queenin'. We queenin'. When them other chicks be scheming, we stay hype cause we queenin'.
When the queens and I'm feeling, throw them hands up. Got a crown on my head, no we can't be touched.
Hola! Oh my gosh, we're back. Season 2, the Nite Hype Show.
Yes.
New year.
New year.
New
2020.
location. Yeah. And I'm so excited.
Yes, me too.
I needed that break.
We did.
Yes,
We did.
to refuel, rejuvenate, get some of these creative juices back that were just lost. What were we, 20 episodes in?
Yeah, 20 something.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. But I'm very excited to be back. This is what we're gonna call Showtime at the Archives.
Hey!
So thank you so much. Tell them a little bit about our new location, DJ.
Yes, we have a new venue, guys. Thank you to Black Archives of Mid-America KC for letting us use the space. And we have a couple people on here that we would like to talk about the Black Archives of Mid-America. Dr. Carma Williams and James Watts.
Welcome you all.
Welcome. Oh, so how long has this place been here? I have never been here, but just like I said, the last time at the GEW.
Yeah, the Global Entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Oh, this is actually the 5th archive location, the way I count it. Horace Peterson started collecting buttons and brochures and storing them in the trunk of his car. Then there was an archive in the YMCA at 18th and Paseo. That's now the Buck O'Neill Learning Center.
Okay.
I've learned that he then rented an apartment for the archives.
Cool.
And after desegregation, the archives was at 2033 Vine in the old fire station, and now here.
Wow.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
That is
it's
awesome.
45 years old. In May, we celebrated 45 years of Black Archives.
Really? So there's Black Archives every state, or is it just in Kansas City?
You know, the name of this place is the Black Archives of Mid-America in Kansas City. Like
Okay.
there are Black Archives in other cities. We are it. Now, I'm sure that there are other states that have locations, but we are the Black Archives of Mid-America in Kansas City, and I'll quit bumping and making that.
That's all right.
I
That's
love
all
it
right.
when they are more aware of themselves, because I didn't think anything of it at all.
Now you got these headphones. You can really hear
You can
it.
hear everything. But now, when we talk about archives, what especially will you find here? Because I know it's like Black, and you assume that it has something to do with Black people and artifacts, whatever. But tell our listeners a little bit more about what they can get out of the Black Archives of Mid-America.
Well, the purpose of the archives is to collect, preserve, and share
Mm-hmm.
those artifacts and documents that went into the creation of Black America.
Wow.
You know, it's the Black Archives.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have many, many documents of early Black Kansas City. We have thousands of pictures.
What would you
literally.
say? What year?
Pardon me?
What year? Like
Oh.
starting?
Yeah, it spreads.
Mhm.
It spread. Horace Peterson, who started the archives, didn't put a limit on it.
Wow.
You know, it was Black life, period.
Yeah.
And so we have across generations, across decades, and now across centuries,
Yeah.
all kinds of information about what it was like to be Black in Kansas City and in this area.
So, Mr. Watts.
Yes.
What was it like? What would you say as far as like the time? Because you see right now everything is selfie, so you can go on Instagram and you can see, you know, a memory from 2 years ago. But what would you describe as archives, artifacts, and what's important to us in our culture?
Well, the preservation of our history is so important.
Oh my gosh, very
It
important.
gives us identity. It gives us respect. It gives us the opportunity to develop a culture.
Mhm.
A culture is a group of people with the same set of common values and beliefs.
I love that.
So Doc is here leading the charge of trying to set the tone for a culture as a group of people with the same set of common values and beliefs. such as we have pictures of Joe Louis. You ever heard of Joe Louis, the boxer?
I think so.
Mhm,
Yeah. Once you put the
mhm,
boxer
mhm.
on
So
there.
we have pictures of Count Basie. We have pictures of the people who started the call paper.
Wow.
And so I'm a product of Kansas City. I grew up in this area, but I didn't live. I grew up at the Purcell YMCA.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a chance to see some of the pictures that we have. I had a chance to see some of that.
Yeah.
You know, like the Negro League baseball games.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Those was very exciting. You know, people dressed up and get out of church early in a parade up Brooklyn. And we had
You don't even know about.
We had two famous drum and bugle corps that would be in it a lot of times. VFW had a drum and bugle corps, and then St. Stephen's Church had one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
VFW was blue and gold uniforms, and St. Stephen's was green and white. And they could step
They can step. Hey, if they can't do nothing else, they can step.
Hey.
and play. They played horns.
Wow.
And it expands past that. We have a picture on the wall that says the most beautiful Black woman in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the woman who said she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. We have Henrietta Lacks on the wall, the woman whose cells were taken for cancer research.
Yes.
So it's all those phases, those local phases, but also it's bigger than that. It is everything that goes into us people of African descent in our lives and our culture and our history.
This is awesome to have something like this here in Kansas City. I see you have a lot of events coming up. Just trying to let everybody know what you guys have to offer.
They offer a lot.
A lot.
I'm sure not even. I think you can you rent out event space here?
Yes.
Right. I think Sauce Remix had his here before. He had a listening party, and we were all kind of on one floor, and then we had another place where we could go, and they had vendors here, and then also there was like just different foods and areas. So it was a really good atmosphere, and especially considering his album was called Animal Trap, and it was talking about the criminal justice system and just how it affects us as Black people, and just to be right here in a place that embodied that. I think it made his listening party a little bit more special, you know?
And that's why I wanted to have it, the whole podcast here.
Yay!
And I just think it's just awesome just to be all around this history.
Yeah.
18th and Vine here, and then the center over there.
Right.
I think that is this is awesome. This
And
is
then
so
to pray,
awesome.
you know, one day our picture might be on the wall.
Hey, you know,
That's right.
Perfectly.
You guys are part of the history right now.
Yeah, I think so. Because, you know, shout out to Miss Q in the building. We did interview her son. I want to say, well, not her son, the mayor of Kansas City,
mayor.
actually twice, once before general election, and then after, once he made it pass. I like to say we were one of the first that said he was going to be mayor. And of course, he made history being one of the youngest in, you know, Kansas City. And so even like you said, just to be a part of something like that, of that magnitude, and we're just thinking, you know, we're a little puny podcast platform, but to make that type of impact, it's just really important, and really you want to embrace it. And so you were talking about some of the events that are coming up, and I like this one.
Well, you know what though, before you move forward,
Yeah.
you said a very important statement that you were involved in Quentin Lucas's mayoral campaign.
Yes.
And your youthfulness was very important.
Thank you for that.
And it's something that you never shall forget.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Because
sir.
you not just talked about it, you did it, and it became a reality.
It became a reality.
Because there's always a thin line between dreams and reality.
Yes, and I must
It is.
admit that did give me a little bit more faith, like Jesus,
Yeah.
and we can do that.
If we can do that, we can do
We
anything.
can do
That's
almost
right.
Yeah,
anything.
good for you, ladies.
Thank
Thank
you so
you.
much. And I think it was interesting because we also brought in African American men who don't typically,
Vote.
participate
Mhm.
in voting or politics, and to be able to sit at that round table and to look at a mayor that's just like them, come from the same place that they are,
Mhm.
and them to be able to have that dialogue, I really feel like that made an impact as far as, those who got out and vote and said, okay, we can make a difference.
Right.
And there is somebody that's willing to make a difference. And might I add, he's doing an amazing job.
Uh-huh.
So,
Yes,
I agree.
yes,
I
yes,
agree.
yes, yes.
He's doing an amazing job.
Yes, he
He's
is.
truly a gift to the city.
All right, we have a few events coming up that's going to be here at the Black Archives. It's the 17th, which is next week.
Mhm.
Woo, the
Well, we can
17th.
start with the 11th. January
Yeah,
11th.
you
But
got
January
that.
11th.
Mhm.
January 11th. We have a Reverend Fuzzy Thompson reception, expedition.
Exhibition.
Announcement
We can read.
and kickoff, okay? From
Yeah.
3 to 5.
That's
We got the 17th is the RKC workshop and lobbying elective officials. 2 to 3 p.m. is the advocacy workshop. 3 to 5 is the meet and greet with the elected officials. We got MLK Day on the
Yeah.
20th.
Okay.
That's the day before my birthday. Just want to say.
Just to put it out there.
Just,
Yeah,
had to.
what does that entail? Can you guys tell us a little
Well,
bit more
we're
about that?
partnering with that organization because it's
Mhm.
important to us that it's more than a motto. That
Yeah.
When we say that we're the community's partner.
Mhm.
And Reverend Benny was an amazing man that people don't know a lot about. And he was actually on path and on target to take the place of or to reinforce the role of Martin Luther King. So they have a documentary, which is going to be shown at the Gym Theater and on the 20th. And so we'll be there. And we're partnering with them to share the word and make sure it's spread. Same thing with Reverend Fuzzy Thompson.
Mhm.
He was an important figure in Kansas City history.
Wow.
And so we're partnering with SCLC for that. So they're going to kick off their exhibition Saturday, but the exhibition itself will be next year.
Okay.
So they're going to have a year of gathering artifacts and documents and funds.
The 22nd, the Aroma Tour. Aroma Tour.
Aroma is a group of challenged of adults with different challenges.
Okay.
And so they're going to come here. We're going to take them on a tour of the archives and
That's
and
awesome.
make sure that they're comfortable and answer their questions and make sure they understand,
Yeah.
what we do here and how it affects them.
Picture party on the
Now, this
23rd.
is what I was
I'm
waiting for.
curious about
I was
this
waiting
one.
for this picture party. So this is January 23rd, Monday, and of course I'm gonna be at work. I might have to take lunch break and come down
It's
here.
actually Thursday.
The 23rd, January 23rd.
Yep, that's a Thursday.
Okay, so it's Thursday, January 23rd, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And so any
Thursday.
former or current Black business owners, you can come down here. And so are we just taking pictures?
No. We have thousands of pictures that we don't know who the people are. So we're inviting the community to come in and identify those folks. And if they have their own pictures of businesses that affected Black Kansas City, Black owners, et cetera, then we want them to bring them in and donate them to the archives so that we'll have a complete picture.
Awesome.
See, I
And you guys are-
I'm a millennial.
Well, you guys are business owners, right?
Yes.
We are.
So we need your picture and a short bio on your business.
Sure, we could do that. We could do that tonight.
So
Okay.
we expect to see you guys represented at January the 23rd.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
for the
so much.
invite. And that's January. There's stuff going on in February, March. You guys stay busy.
Oh, we do.
You
we
do.
have bookings through next year.
Wow, to 2021. That's a blessing. And what I really just like, what we were talking about a little bit earlier, we don't know a lot about our history, especially African Americans. We don't know what we identify with, where we come from About 3 years ago, I had some time off from work, and one of the first things I did was watch the Netflix Coming to America, and it talked about a lot of the history of the African Americans from Sierra Leone until, coming over and just having a place to start. How do you think we're affected as African Americans not knowing our history or being able to really identify with America as an African American and what we have contributed? Because you talked about Fuzzy Thompson, you talked about the guy you said that was like the predecessor after MLK. What have we lost as a generation not knowing our history and identity?
You know, in the life before this one, I taught African American studies.
Girl, go.
But students always said, why didn't we learn this in high school?
Yeah.
And so then I get to tell them about how people revision history to fit their needs. And one of the things that we do here at the Black Archives is we capture it as it is.
Yeah.
We have people tell us how it was, so that if you let other people write your history, then they're going to put their interpretation on it. Africa, my first trip to Africa, I had people say, I didn't lose anything in Africa. I'm like, yes, you did. You lost whatever it was that makes you ashamed to say, I have African blood.
Yeah.
And if you look at the power and the prestige of Africa, you should be willing and excited to claim that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so that's part of what we do here is we help people to claim all of those parts that make them who they are. I tell people I know that folks are really well-meaning when they say they're colorblind, but the first color to disappear is black.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that, because if you don't see me as a Black woman, then you have missed all of who I am.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you don't see
totally
my
agree.
African roots, then you've missed me.
Yeah. So what do you think about the kind of new splurge of wokeness and being Black, and you'll start seeing a lot of people in our original garments? And this question is to you, Mr. Watson. Does that make you proud, or do you still feel like we're missing a component of what makes us who we are?
Well, I think it's two things that's present now is not knowing our history and training.
Training?
Training.
Okay.
Yes, training. Because, as a matter of fact, I would say training first because, well, I don't want to say it's first or second, but training and knowing your history, your culture, knowing where you came from, just you don't have to know everything, but it has to be a pathway of being interested in and learning about who you are, and then a lot of times it would change the way that you look at things.
Mindset, right?
It's
that
the
was
mind.
the next place I was heading.
It's the mindset, and it's really important with young Black men.
Ooh.
See, because that lack of training and the lack of knowledge of who you are. Matter of fact, if you know who you are, it will give you maybe energy to go forward and learn how to do something, learn how to be trained, so that you can have money to take care of your legitimate money, where you can take care of your family and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And if you look at African cultures, if you're walking down the street, all the billboards, all the people look like you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to second guess yourself or try to figure out. I had a woman in my office a couple of weeks ago who was trying to convince me that she was an excellent children's writer about Blackness, white woman. And she said, I guess I'm just interested in the underdog. And I said, never say that again.
Please don't ever say that.
She said, huh? I said, don't ever say that again. And I think if she thinks it, and she was actually the adopted mother of 2 Black kids, those kids got that same lesson. And so these kids that are going out murdering each other and disrespecting folks, they've adopted that underdog, second-class citizens.
Very true.
You need to see how important it is to be Black.
Yes.
How much you get when you accept and acknowledge. And, Black is beautiful.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
wonderful time.
Mhm.
Buy Black power.
Yeah.
And we have to bring that back in order to stop some of this nonsense.
That's right.
Because people don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm. Or have respect for who they are.
Right.
But if you know who you are, it makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
If you know your culture. I would encourage both of you ladies to go to Africa.
Oh,
And go to Africa.
What? I just need that passport and that Africa.
Let me get the airport.
You're
the
going to need a
airplane tickets.
passport anyway.
Yes,
Yes,
So I would encourage. We encourage both of you guys to go to Africa. Strange, the very cool thing about Africa, you can be walking down the street like in a busy city.
Yeah.
You say, "That's Quincy." You'll see somebody that looks like
Looks
Quincy.
just like her. Wow,
Or
that's
you'll see,
amazing.
man, is that Mr. Watts over there?
Right. Or even me, right?
Or even you.
Wow.
Yeah,
You don't
That's
even
a- that's-
think of that.
that's a fact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, also, I was looking at this February list. We have the Alumni History Month reception, UMKC.
Mhm.
What does that entail? I'm kind of interested. I mean, do you have to be a part of UMKC to come to this
Yeah,
event?
it's their alumni from the University of Missouri. And it's not just from the UMKC campus, it's from all of their campuses. But they're going to have an event here.
February 6th. And then you have the luncheon,
Yes.
Black Archives annual luncheon.
That's our
and-
big event.
That's what that is. That February 6th.
It's February 15th,
15th,
11:30 in
Mhm.
Pearson Hall on the UMKC campus. Mayor Q is going to be our keynote speaker.
Okay.
He's there.
And we're going to show a film, A Living Legacy, The Making of the Black Archives. Horace Peterson and the Making of the Black Archives, which was done by Rodney Thompson and Spencer McClendon. A fabulous film, and it's chock full of history.
Wow.
So it's our big fundraiser. You can register on the UMKC website or on ours, blackarchives.org, and go to the donate button and then find the luncheon. But it's going to be informative, fun, and really, really interesting.
It's gonna be fun, fit, fine, fabulous, and fantastic.
Okay.
All F's.
All of them. And it
Listen to Mr. Alliteration.
Okay, and it's our month, Of course, there's the big 365 Black History, but this is a month that is dedicated to us. Do you feel like you have like an upsurge in February of more visitors coming and trying to learn more?
No, we do it year round here.
Yeah.
And another event in February is
There you
that
go.
Women's Basketball Association
Yes.
started in Kansas City. And folks don't know that.
Did not
So-
know that. Did not know that.
Yeah, so the WNBA actually took the ideas that the WBA was putting together, and they're going to do
Brand new
an
information.
exhibit, and we're going to house it here. They want like a Hall of Fame for those women who participated. So on the 21st, we will be having their VIP reception. The 22nd, we'll be showing their documentary.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning
They have
Mitchell.
Yes, and Lightning actually legally changed his name
To Lightning.
to Lightning.
That's cool. That's cool.
But he was the starter, and they played ball all over the country. It was like the Monarch, like the Negro
Mhm.
Leagues.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they played all over the country. And so we're going to give honor to those folks who started women's basketball. So
That's
that's
cool.
21st and
You guys
22nd.
need to be here for that.
That sounds really interesting. I would love to check that out.
Yeah.
You ought to try to interview him.
Right. I tried to be a WNBA person.
You are good at basketball. But you are good at basketball.
Loving basketball. Oh, you can tell me in '97 when the WNBA started that I was going to be there. Was a little short, you know what I mean? And I couldn't make that three the way that I needed to.
But you got hops,
I
though.
didn't connect all the time.
But you got
know?
hops.
But, so this is just amazing just for me personally to even hear some of those things, because those all are important to me. Black history, basketball, and it's more than just, the blackness of it. We do so much and we have done so much, and it just seems like this is a great place to start if you really want to learn more about what we have done.
Yeah. I mean, look how smart you were to kick off your second season here at the Black Archives.
Time again, girl.
is awesome. This is really cool because this is a lot of things that I didn't even know
that
was
you guys
going on
did,
here.
or that's very intriguing, very intriguing.
Mhm.
And then I also see that you all have a KCMO career fair coming up.
Mhm.
And so anybody can come, or do you gotta be black?
It's
I just want to know, maybe I try to work on community policing, what the people need to know.
It's the KC Police Department. Okay?
They can't discriminate. I'm just saying.
Anybody can come.
That's the
But
29th of February.
maybe having that here is a good way to figure out those folks that will actually make good cops.
Yes.
And those that are somehow working out some kind of aggression, some kind of racial aggression.
Okay.
So
Right.
they'll walk in here and
With
go
peace
through us.
and exactly that we know they can halfway do right. That is the most of our population where our people are. But I just think that it's interesting that you all do so much and it spans like a huge spectrum because you not only are reaching out to others, we talk about like Black history and bringing it down from one generation to the next. This is intriguing for all, not just, someone who said, oh, I like Black history, but also, a young girl who wants to go to the WNBA one day and she can see that history right here, or even young men who they might want to become a police one day, but being able to see that there are people who are interested that look just like them, And I just think that's so important because I remember my first memory of anything Black in history is slavery. That's all I've ever learned. I went to school in Morrilton, Arkansas. So,
Morrilton. I
yes.
know where that is.
You do?
And my family's from Warren and Monticello.
Seriously? That's how it always works out. Morrilton is just this little bitty. I mean, if you blink your eyes, you're going to miss those two exits. But for me personally, I didn't grow up with a lot of people that looked like me. I didn't know my history. I knew American history. And even as we got Christopher Columbus found America, this history that has been watered down and we've actually been taken out of. And to grow up and to find out that we had a lot more to do with it than what I thought, that's what pushed me to do what I do today. That's what made me feel like you can be, operational trainer. You can stand in front of a group of people and be strong and be bold and be a Black woman and not just be discounted because that's what you are, So I really like the idea that you can come and find yourself here. That's what I'm getting from it,
That's the power of the Black Archives. In October, we had our Women's Empowerment Month.
Wow.
We had 16 speakers come in here and do workshops on all aspects. In our exhibition hall now, we have Jerome Berry's graphic novels on women's empowerment issues. Each one addresses a different women's issue.
Yeah.
And the point to us is it's never too late. There was an old saying that the best stories are in the cemetery.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen. We don't
Yeah.
want any more of those stories to be in the cemetery. But we also want young people to know that the stories are here.
Already. Yeah. You might have to go out and read.
Well, yeah.
You might can't. Do you guys have an online presence like social media?
We do.
You do? Okay. What's your pages?
Yeah, go to Facebook and like us. And our website is blackarchives.org. And we have Instagram. We have, what else do we have?
I can
So we have a YouTube station. It's not populated yet, but we're going to get that done.
Awesome.
Us too.
Yeah, that's something we're working on as well. So that is great to hear. Maybe we can do a collaboration.
We can collaborate all these butts. All the stuff they got going on. My goodness.
We have a lot of things going on. So I'm excited because I feel like this is inspiration. Like to come in and, just to see so much greatness around you like that every Monday, every time you aim to be, to do more, you aim to be more knowledgeable and you kind of want to be the example, of that greatness. So I'm really excited for this collab.
Well, you guys need to make sure you connect with Dr. Williams.
Yes.
Yeah, because she has a lot of skill, a lot of knowledge, a lot of drive, and she's patient.
Obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm learning so much. I'm learning so
That's a
much.
fact.
Yeah,
So make sure you connect with her.
definitely.
And don't forget about Quincy. She's over there quiet. She has a lot to say.
Well,
Hey, Miss Lucas.
I'm sure she just raised the whole mayor. So
You should interview her
You
so
know?
that other women can find out how do you raise a mayor.
Okay.
Hey.
How do you
We
raise
talked a
somebody
lot
who
about
will
it.
accept social responsibility?
Yes.
That's not natural.
Not
I mean,
at
it
all.
doesn't just. It's not something that is easily attained.
Yeah.
When we look at all, there's 500,000 people in Kansas City.
Mhm.
So how do we get those dozen or so that run for mayor?
Yeah.
And how come the other ones don't?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that would be a good interview.
Yes, it will.
You know, I would
Yeah, we're talking about you.
Yeah.
I would encourage you guys to focus on politics
Oh, yeah.
and focus on inspiring.
That's her thing.
That's my thing.
Other young people to get involved.
Yep.
'Cause that's-
I've
it's
taken
needed.
Kansas
It's needed.
City Community Engagement University. I've talked to Mayor Lucas about affordable housing, being a single parent myself, and going through not having a place to stay or being taken advantage of because you don't look like others or anything of that nature. So I am definitely one that is big for politics and understand that it takes for us to get at these city levels. It takes for us to have those councilmen. It takes for us to have, those Senate, all of that so that we can have people that are standing up there for us. I don't know. I don't think I could actually ever be in politics because I think I'm a little bit outspoken sometimes.
Very passionate. Very passionate.
And I do get very passionate, but
That's good.
That's
That's a good
good,
thing.
you think?
I think so.
That's a good.
I don't know, because sometimes you gotta, turn it down a little bit.
Well, the process will help you to refine what's
Yeah.
valuable for you to say.
Yeah.
One of our programs on the 17th of this month is with Arts KC. And one of the workshops that they're doing is how do you actually lobby those people in elected positions to get what you want? That's
Mhm.
Well, let me write this down as well.
The 17th, 2 to 3.
Thank you very much.
And then
and it's
5.
free.
And it's free.
Yeah. And elected officials will be here at the reception too. So once you get the
Mhm.
skill set, go down
there and talk to 'em.
and
Are all
for
these
yourself.
events in January free to the public or
Yes.
tickets? You got to buy tickets, or how's that work?
All of them in January except for the movie
Okay.
are
On the
free.
20th.
The ones in February are luncheon, of course, it's our fundraiser, so that costs money. But the other ones are free.
Cool.
What we try to do is the exhibit hall, there's no charge to go through the museum, is to keep this free because we want people to have access to this
Yes.
history.
And to
But
come.
we're a nonprofit.
Mhm.
And nonprofit doesn't mean that we can operate without money
That's
at
right.
all. So we don't charge people, but we certainly accept donations.
Yeah, and that's good because you can give donations at the blackarchives.org.
Mhm.
I'm sure, do you guys have like the Cash App or anything?
We do.
Look at y'all.
Ah, they own it.
Oh, my God. Okay, Cash App it, hashtag whatever. So if you care about history, you care about our history, and you want to donate, please feel free to do so. And we'll also make sure that we put that up on our page, blackarchives.org, for
Yes.
additional information.
And the Black Archives of Mid-America is located at 1722 East 17th Terrace, Casey Mo, 64108. Mr. Watts and Dr. Williams, thank you for coming on the show. We really appreciate that.
Oh,
And I heard that you have a podcast. What's
Yeah.
the name of that podcast?
Jimmy Ride to 65. It's dormant right now, but it's on SoundCloud. Jimmy Ride to 65.
I like that name.
I like it too.
I did 5Ks for my birthday when I turned 65.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Five.
Don't even tell me.
I couldn't walk up these steps without getting on the ground. Oh, I need to get myself together. So you did 5.
5Ks.
Five
Okay.
5Ks.
Do you
Wait.
still run?
No.
No, he said that
I
was
still
a little-
work out, but
Yeah.
I haven't challenged myself to any case. But I plan to do something this summer.
You're looking physically fit over there. I hope that I
Seven.
can. I'm working on it now, but I
You
need to
guys
really.
look
I need
great.
to get
Y'all
on
got a
it.
chance.
Oh, I don't feel like
Put
it.
your Fitbit on.
Okay, look, that's what I was looking at early.
Staying fit. I heard that.
I'm excited for this year and every partnership that is going to come.
Mhm.
We'll continue to keep you all updated on everything that is happening with Black Archives. We almost can't not help to being here
Yeah.
and around everything that you all have done. Is there any last thoughts that you want to give to our listeners just about Black Archives, about, us as people?
I want to
just-
shout out some people.
Yeah, what we can do in 2020.
I'd like to see you guys come back and do another podcast and maybe do it in the museum part
Oh, for sure.
That's cute.
and where you bring some young people in and interview them.
They're going to do all their podcasts here.
We're gonna
this
be
year.
Okay, that's cool.
we're gonna be coming
Oh,
back.
man, that's so cool.
We're gonna be coming back again
She
this
always
month.
a step ahead of
Hell of you.
She's awesome. She is
But
awesome.
also, I want people to know if you put our address in your GPS, sometimes it sends you way
Yeah.
east to
Oh,
Taipei.
Greg Slice Community Center. I just had to walk across the field in my heels, and I was like, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. But
She was
it
cute in
wasn't
them
that
heels, though.
bad, though. It wasn't that bad. So thank you.
It
for
is.
saying
It's
that.
on 17th and off of Highland, 17th and Highland. So please come. Please come and visit. We're free, open to the public. 10 to 5,
10 to
Monday
5.
through Friday, and 10 to 3 on Saturdays.
And
We
how-
also have spaces that we rent.
Yes, space available, you guys. So if you want to, set up the shop in here.
Look at this.
Little something, something.
I said it's time for me to go.
And you know what though? Now, my head's starting getting a little cold.
I understand.
I know.
I don't have hair right here. So I
Well,
understand.
I was not expecting any of this, and I'm really glad that I came. I went home and came back.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Thank you
I'm
so
glad you
much.
came back.
Yeah, so thank you so much. I
Thank
really
you, guys.
appreciate
No.
Dr. Williams. Letting me be
Beautiful
involved.
ladies.
Thank
Thank you guys for having us. This is
This
awesome.
is going to be really fun.
It's going to be a great journey, 2020.
2020. Yes. And then we are hoping, who's to say you might come through and find us here,
Yep.
you know?
Yep.
All right.
Well, you guys make sure you put your profile together for January the 23rd. 11
Oh,
o'clock.
for our
for the picture party. Picture
Yeah,
party.
Black business, a picture party, and you guys are
Oh,
on
we got
business.
plenty of pictures.
We-
Also,
we
at
showed
that
them.
picture party, Alyssa Kennedy is going to do a special tribute to long-time Kansas City real estate mogul, Edna Perry.
Ah.
Wow.
They
Oh.
want
Like
to
it.
come
Y'all
and
got all kind of, like, they got the events, but then they got, like, the secret
Right,
back.
right. In the events,
You know what I'm saying?
No, Doc got the secret sauce.
Obviously. Shoot.
You can get everything here.
With the movies and
With everything.
shakers, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
I like it. I like
Now
it.
we in there.
Okay. Okay. I'm excited.
She's the mover and shaker. I'm just here to assist and not direct.
I don't believe her.
Jimmy
I don't
Watts
believe
knows
it either.
everybody in Kansas City from toddlers to old.
To toddlers.
And he can
1 to
bring them in
92.
the building.
Nice.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
smart
see that.
enough to know who to get
And who not.
to bring folks into the building.
But you got to have somebody smart enough to know that, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Y'all
That's
got-
right.
They
Gotta
kind of
have
like us, DJ. You know what I'm
She's-
saying?
Mhm.
She don't let 'em play.
Teamwork
Don't let
make
her
the
down.
dream work.
Okay.
And Quincy,
I mean-
Mother Dowdens has been here since, well, I started on Friday, she started on Monday.
Oh,
But
So
her
started together
y'all was a
like that.
team.
commitment has been to helping us to preserve Black history.
And how
in
long
Kansas
ago
City.
was that?
14 months ago. It was November 15th for me, November 18th for her.
That's
last year.
really
And it's
dope.
3 months for me.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's
I know, right? Like, that's it. Sound like y'all been doing this for.
Said all.
So that means y'all are really doing some dope things.
Mhm.
Wow, in a short amount of time,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
I like that because I'm sure people weren't aware beforehand as they might be now, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Because they've done a great job. See, when they came here, it was just, it was here, but
Yeah.
they put a lot. To make something work, you got to have content and energy.
That's
Yes,
right.
you do.
And they had both of them. And I'm just thankful to be here.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be here too. Thank you guys.
Thank
Thank you so much. Well, that's been the Nite Hype Show.
Just that easy.
Just that easy.
Oh, we
Where can
need
we-
to tell them something about us,
where
right?
we gonna follow? Where they gonna follow us at?
We still got the same places. we disappeared.
We ain't
for a
moved.
while,
We ain't
but
moved.
You notice, we have tried to keep the content rolling, so you can get us at Instagram,
Mhm.
Nite Hype Show, NITEHYPE Show, and that is Instagram. That's Snapchat. No, we put that away. I don't mind because I'm not that interested anyway. When it comes
You
to
can
Snapchat.
email us.
Yes.
If you need-
NiteHypeShow@gmail.com.
That's right.
We would love to see you come through the Black Archives, come through the Nite Hype Show, learn more about what they do.
Yes.
And hey, you never know, we might be the ones to take you on tour.
And
I'm just saying.
and we bid you
Adios.
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 Good night.